Let me start this one with a question. How many of you have ever felt like you've had nothing left? And not physically, but mentally. Your legs are there, your strength is still there, but the fire's gone. That's what happens when you burn all your matches. But here's our matchstick problem. Imagine every day you wake up with a small book of matches. And as you go out and go into your training, each match represents focus, control, discipline, intensity. Now here's the big problem. Most athletes believe that success comes from lighting as many matches as possible. So they go all in every day. Maximum intensity, emotional highs and lows, constant pressure, constant urgency. And they're on fire until they're not, because eventually that box is empty. And you've seen it. You've probably lived it. Most of us have lived it at some point. It ends up with you snapping at teammates, screaming at the referee, overtraining when your body's screaming for recovery, crushing one workout, and then taking a week to recover, so sore you can't get off the couch for days on end. And winning emotionally, but losing performance. And this is what we call scorched earth performance. Everything gets torched. Your consistency, your relationships, your long-term growth, all because you tried to win today at the expense of tomorrow. And what's the science behind it all? Well, your brain is not built for constant maximum output. Emotional control, focus, restraint, motivation, willpower, all these things are finite resources. And in the psychology literature, we see it described as ego depletion, cognitive fatigue, nervous system overload, a lot of different things. Look at this picture. It's de-evolution. You just get worse and worse and worse. Because when you burn too many matches, decision-making declines, reaction time slows, and you don't rise to the occasion any longer. You follow to your level of regulation. But the best athletes, the world champion athletes, do it differently. They're not the ones who burn the hottest. They're the ones that burn the longest. See here are weatherproof matches. They know when to use them. They know when to save them. They don't dominate because they're amped all the time. They dominate because they control emotional spikes. They choose when to spend their energy. And they recover like it's part of their job. They protect their matches like it's currency. And let me challenge you on something you've been told, more like something that's been shoved down your throat endlessly, ceaselessly by all the roid-raging internet darlings out there. Go all out, every rep, every day. That sounds tough. It sounds disciplined, but it's also wrong, because real discipline is not about going hard. It's about going appropriate, knowing when to push, when to pull back, when to not engage emotionally. That's not weakness. That's called control. And that's a hallmark of world champion athletes. And just imagine the cost of this emotional leakage. Every time you lose your temper, scream at an opponent, get frustrated, react instead of respond. Every time you do these things, you light a match. And that match does not help your performance. It just burns. And it ends up wasted. And so as the game goes along and you get to crunch time in that critical moment, you find you've got nothing left to light. Because your performance is not just physical, it's mental as well. So emotional control, mental restraint, strategic intensity, these are the characteristics you want to display in your game. The goal is not to feel maxed out all the time. The goal is to be dangerous when it matters the most. And that's all well and good, but so what are we supposed to do? So there's a number of things. You set priorities. You identify the most important things. Here we could create a plan, set intensity targets. On a recovery day, we're not going to go hard. We can do emotional budgeting. You can ask yourself, what deserves my energy today? We can control our first reaction, particularly when we're down, fatigued, irritable. Watch out, because your first reaction is usually your worst reaction. Think through, and then leave something in the tank at all times. Don't ever empty the tank unless it's in competition. You always want to leave a session with the thought, I could do more. That's not quitting. It's building a better tomorrow, and it's improving my performance on game day or race day.